So you are interested in making over $1 million a year doing real estate, and real estate is one of those careers that you could do that. I mean, being an attorney, being in finance, being in real estate, all these careers offer you the opportunity to make $1 million. So my name is Mike Mello. I am a broker associate and co-owner at Preferred Real Estate Brokers. I'm here with
Josefleming,
who is the actual managing broker and also co-owner at Preferred Real Estate Brokers also. So we found it maybe interesting because people like to know about money, how you can make $1 million doing real estate. And there's multiple different ways. So Jose, why don't you tell us about one of the ways that someone can make $1 million in real estate?
Well, sell a lot of houses.
All right, that is it, folks. Thank you for watching.
Besides selling a lot of houses, there are multiple ways to go about generating large income in the world of real estate. But yes, let's talk about the number one way, selling large volume.
Thinking about a couple agents that we have that make over $1 million, one that does cold calling, and then one who does social media.
Social media, video, they're constantly making commercials for themselves and the product and inventory that they're selling. They put it out to the internet, and people on the internet view that, and they have a steady stream of people who are interested in the product that they're showcasing. Now, of course, you'll work your tail off and you'll be constantly working with buyers and showing properties. So it really pays to have a good system in place, because it could take a large majority of your time to get to that $1 million mark, because you're constantly working, you're constantly answering your phone, you're constantly sending emails, you're constantly meeting these people at property, you're constantly doing tours, and you're constantly doing videos and posting. So it really helped to use some leverage and provide yourself with a videographer to help you with the video and editing, maybe some buyer agents, like you employ some buyer agents to kind of leverage their time to kind of help take some of that buyer overflow. So if you have more people working towards a greater cause, you can reach your financial goal quicker than if you put all that pressure on yourself.
Well, talking about the agent that does the videos here, I've seen her schedule. Like, she's actually got everything very organized. She's extremely organized, a little bit opposite of what I am. And literally every day she has everything scheduled from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything time slotted out for the whole week. And pretty much is just completely busy all the time, a lot of labor involved. And she also has a relatively high average sale price of typically over $500,000. So $500,000, you're probably looking at $15,000. I mean, the commission varies depending on the house, but let's say it's like maybe a $12,000 to $14,000 commission per sale, and she closes eight homes a month. So therefore, the math works. And that's another thing is, the way you can do it is increase your
price
sale
point.
price.
Yeah, if you get to a higher price point, you can do fewer transactions and make a lot of money. Unfortunately, depending on where you are in the continental United States, there's certain places that will allow large volume of sales. We're talking about California, New York, Florida, some parts of Texas, big ranches over in Colorado and Montana. But for the most part, you have to be working in an area that would allow you to sell those big ticketed homes to yield you $30, $60, $80, $150, $250,000 commission per sale, which is crazy, but it can easily be done. But it all depends on where you live and who you know.
Yeah, so for example, I think I just saw a thing in Orange County, California, their average sale point is $1.6 million. Where here, I think it's around 388.
Yeah, it just went up. It's went up to like $418,000,
which is still good. I mean, it's still quite a bit of money. But if you're at 1.6, you have to sell fewer houses, and it takes the same amount of work to sell a $150,000 house as it takes to sell a $10 million house for the most part.
Exactly.
On the buyer side.
And you also have to remember, certain parts of the country, even though the real estate is higher priced, like New York or Manhattan, for example, the cost of living is much higher as well. So $1 million to us here in Central Florida is not the same as $1 million to somebody who's living, working, and playing in Manhattan.
$1 million a year, I think anyone can be happy near wherever they are. I'd take $1 million to live in Manhattan.
Sure.
So, so that is one way, is just putting in a whole bunch of hours and working it, and working 70, 80 hours a week. And also with the cold calling, you can also do that as well if you're very efficient at cold calling. But you have to do cold calling from like 7 a.m. to 12, pretty much every day, including holidays.
It's religious.
Yeah.
You know, every day, consistently hitting the phones. And then the reason you're hitting those phones is to generate listings. Now, the cool thing about it is even though it's labor intensive on the phones, picking up the phone, making the calls, you do less work as a listing agent, but you receive, healthy commissions. So it's okay. So for instance, if my job was inside talking to people on the phone to earn $1 million a year, I'd take that any day over working outside or on a roof or, dealing with a bunch of people that I don't like working with, so it's a good trade-off.
Yeah. So the other way, which I think is the smarter way, well, I shouldn't say smarter, but the way that I prefer to do business is leveraging the business. So therefore, I like to figure out how to get buyers and sellers. And then once I talk to them, then I actually have a team of realtors that take it, and then I take 50% or however much is agreed to of the commission once it closes.
So yeah, you're considered what they call in our industry the Rainmaker. So typically when there's a leader of a team or somebody that's able to produce leads that are consistently coming in, they're considered the Rainmaker. Now, not one person is capable of handling all the leads that come into their funnel. So by providing leverage and hiring people that you can train or you can put into a sales environment where you can hand them a lead and they can turn around and convert the lead into a sale on your behalf, and you guys share the commission, you feed them, they feed you, scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. You can really level up, and it's compounding your abilities to make more money through other individuals. So it's, it's like, I help you out, you help me out.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I do is, I try to get the people that are looking to buy houses. And it's the same thing too with the price point. For example, if you sell $1 million house and you refer that out to another agent and I get 25% of that, then I walk away with a check for $7,500, which is a lot less than the $30,000. But a check for $7,500 for referring business out is not bad. And then you just have to calculate how many of those you need to make $1 million. I think I have to do like $150 million in sales total to actually make $1 million a year in commission.
Yeah, and of course that's everybody's dream or goal to aspire. I want to make $1 million. But honestly, guys, if you're in this business making $350,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, life is good. So even though you want to reach that pinnacle or that goal, in reality, it just says what does your lifestyle look like, and what do you need to have a happy, healthy lifestyle? So you got to have that work-life balance as well, and don't be just kind of infatuated with the dollar amount.
Yeah, I much rather work 10 hours a week and make $500,000 a year than have to work 80 hours a week to make $1 million a year.
Absolutely.
Happiness is the number one goal for me at this Bitcoin.
And the most valuable thing that you guys have, the most valuable commodity all of us have is time.
Yep.
And how you use that time, whether it's I used all my time working constantly, or I used a healthy portion of my time living my life, enjoying my family and my friends, and enjoying the fruits of my labor. Don't forget that as well. So don't become obsessed with chasing the dollar either.
Another way that you can possibly make $1 million or more in real estate is to open your own brokerage. And I think this is one of the more difficult ways to do it. And the reason why I didn't want to be a managing broker is because you can make significantly more money actually being an agent than having to open a brokerage and manage other realtors.
You could, and that kind of is the old adage, the joke. Why do you think they call them brokers? Because they're broker than an agent. So there are agents that bring in large volume, huge commissions. If you're not a broker that knows how to properly leverage on a wider scale with more people, that's great. You can have 100, 200, 300 agents working for you, which is applying leverage on a mass quantity. But you've got to be able to, retain them. You've got to be able to train them. You've got to be able to mentor them, and you've got to be able to manage your staff to help manage their needs, the agent's needs. And by providing them good quality service and being able to answer their questions and be there for them, being able to orchestrate all that, not a lot of people are capable of doing that. It's just, you either have to have an inherent ability to do something like that, or you have to be able to learn or get trained or have a coach that kind of brings you to that level.
And it's a completely different skill. Someone can be very good at being a realtor and make $1 million a year being a realtor, but they would absolutely suck at being a broker and managing a brokerage. And on top of that, you probably need to have at least 300 agents under you in today's age of how the splits work, for someone to actually recover a $300,000 a year salary from actually selling real estate.
Yep.
So.
Because remember, not only do you have to receive a salary, but you also have to run a business. So a lot of the money coming in the business is used to sustain the business and, of course, pay yourself a salary. So there's a lot of moving parts. We should maybe do a video about what it takes to run a brokerage or be a broker. I always recommend somebody start their own personal team first to see if they can manage 3 or 4 or 5 people. And if they can do that, maybe they can go to the next level instead of just jumping from a single individual agent to a broker. Because, you know, I see a lot of people lose a lot of time and money kind of making that shift in their business. So all in all, $1 million is great. And if you want to aspire to get there, no one's holding you back or telling you you can't do that. But remember, your quality of life, the customer service that you provide your clients is huge. Don't sacrifice the service to get more money, because people notice that, and then your business will start to dwindle as well.
And then another way would probably be investing in real estate.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different ball game. You know, if you become an investor or if you're an agent where you see the deals firsthand, and you want to take advantage of that, use some of your capital to invest. There's a lot of benefits that you get on the front end through passive income, mailbox money. And then there's also a lot of benefits you get through tax write-offs, tax incentives that come on the back end that offset your income.
And we've had a couple agents who come in here and they're able to find those deals. Like Tim, for example. Tim was able to find a few deals, and now he's making quite a few $1,000s a month just on the rental income for buying the houses. And he also would fix them up and either rent them or flip them. So another option. So there's plenty. There's probably other options too that we haven't talked about, but those are the main ones.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah.
And just you know, figure out what you want to do and just commit to it and stick to it, and you'll get there eventually.
At open houses, we've had agents who've made close to $1 million a year doing open houses, but they do open houses like every day of the week. And then we've had people, I've heard of people making that much knocking on doors as well. So there's just so many ways to make $1 million a year in real estate, but very few. It's sort of like Top Gun, the movie, is like the top 1% of the top 1% that actually make it to that specific level.
Yeah. So if you don't make it there, don't beat yourself up. Just make a comfortable living where you can provide for your family and enjoy your life.
So, all right, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.